Damien, the malevolent leech. Once upon a time, in the depths of a haunting and forbidding swamp, there dwelled a leech named Damien. Unlike his brethren, Damien possessed a sinister nature and an insatiable thirst for blood that went far beyond the ordinary instincts of his species. In the gloom of the swamp, rumors spread about Damien's malevolent presence. Locals spoke of his eerie aura, the unnerving glow that emanated from his slimy skin. Fear gripped the hearts of those who heard the whispers, for Damien had become a symbol of dread, a relentless predator lurking in the shadows. Driven by an insatiable hunger, Damien sought out the vulnerable and unsuspecting. He targeted lost travelers, wandering into the depths of the swamp, luring them with false promises of guidance and safety. But instead of leading them to salvation, he wrapped his grotesque form around their bodies, injecting them with a paralyzing venom that rendered them helpless. With each victim, Damien reveled in the taste of their life force, relishing the sensation of their essence pulsing through his veins. Their despair and pain nourished his malevolence, fueling his dark desires for power and control. As tales of Damien's atrocities grew, a brave group of locals resolved to hunt him down and end his reign of terror. Armed with torches and weapons, they ventured into the heart of the swamp, determined to rid their community of this abomination. A harrowing battle ensued between the hunters and Damien, each side fighting for survival. The swamp echoed with the anguished cries of both predator and prey. In a final act of desperation, Damien unleashed his full force, retaliating with a venomous fury that left his attackers paralyzed and defenseless. Victorious, Damien reveled in his power, basking in the havoc he had wrought upon his would-be captors. He declared himself the sovereign of the swamp, his malevolence consuming every inch of his being. From that day forward, the swamp became a place of darkness and despair, haunted by Damien's maleficence. The once thriving ecosystem withered under his oppressive rule, its inhabitants living in perpetual fear and agony. And so, the dark tale of Damien, the malevolent leech who reveled in terror and suffering, serves as a chilling reminder of the depths to which darkness can descend. May we remember the importance of compassion, empathy, and the light within us, for it is only through kindness and understanding that we can resist the allure of our own sinister impulses and cultivate a world filled with hope and harmony. Aurora, the compassionate leech. Once upon a time, in the murky depths of the haunted swamp ruled by Damien, a compassionate leech named Aurora dwelled. Unlike her malevolent counterpart, Aurora believed in the power of empathy and understanding to bring about change. She longed to free the swamp from Damien's tyrannical grasp without resorting to violence. Aurora, known for her gentle nature, used her innate ability to listen and connect with others. She sought out the creatures oppressed by Damien's rule, offering a sympathetic ear and words of encouragement. Through her unwavering compassion, Aurora aimed to inspire unity and ignite a spark of hope within their hearts. Together, Aurora and her newfound allies devised a plan to resist Damien's malevolence. They organized peaceful protests and demonstrations, using their collective voices to raise awareness about the injustices within the swamp. The inhabitants joined together, sharing their stories of suffering and their hopes for a brighter future. However, Damien, driven by his insatiable lust for power, remained obstinate in the face of their non-violent resistance. He saw their attempts as mere nuisances, dismissing them with disdain. Damien believed that his hold on the swamp was unshakable, and he would not let go of his power no matter what. As the peaceful resistance continued, Damien unleashed his wrath upon the creatures who dared to challenge him. He intensified his oppressive rule, inflicting pain and suffering upon those who spoke out against him. His reign became even more tyrannical, suffocating any glimmer of hope that had once flickered within the hearts of the swamp's inhabitants. Undeterred by Damien's brutality, Aurora and her allies displayed incredible resilience. They refused to be silenced, standing firm in their commitment to peace and justice. They continued to reach out to the broader world, seeking support and solidarity in their struggle against Damien's tyranny. As word spread of Damien's atrocities, the story of Aurora and her allies touched the hearts of compassionate beings far and wide. People from distant lands were moved by the plight of the swamp's inhabitants, and a collective voice began to rise against Damien's reign of terror. The outcry grew, with individuals and organizations joining forces to condemn Damien's actions and call for his removal from power. The pressure on Damien escalated as the international community united in their condemnation of his brutality. Yet, despite the mounting pressure and overwhelming opposition, Damien remained resolute. He clung tightly to his power, refusing to yield to the voices of reason and compassion. In the face of Damien's unyielding grip, Aurora and her allies recognized the magnitude of the task before them. They knew that achieving true freedom would require perseverance, sacrifice, and a willingness to confront the darkness head-on. The struggle continued, with Aurora and her allies tirelessly advocating for justice and freedom, even in the face of Damien's relentless cruelty. They remained a symbol of hope and resilience, inspiring others to stand up against oppression and tyranny. While the tale of Damien and his grip on power ends on a somber note, it serves as a reminder of the immense challenges faced in the pursuit of justice. It underscores the importance of perseverance, unity, and unwavering commitment to the values of compassion and empathy. May we draw strength from the story of Aurora and her allies, using their example as a catalyst for change in our own lives and communities. May we continue to resist injustice, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, and work towards a future where empathy and understanding prevail. Felix, the cunning frog. Once upon a time, in the murky depths of the haunted swamp ruled by Damien, a cunning frog named Felix resided. Unlike the compassionate Aurora and the malevolent Damien, Felix was driven by his opportunistic nature and a desire for personal gain. Felix, known for his shrewdness, had observed the growing conflict between Damien and Aurora from the sidelines. Recognizing an opportunity to advance his own agenda, he hatched a plan to exploit their rivalry for his benefit. Knowing that Aurora represented hope and justice while Damien symbolized fear and oppression, Felix sought to manipulate their conflict to gain power over the swamp's inhabitants. He skillfully played both sides, offering assistance to each, all the while serving his own hidden agenda. To Aurora, Felix appeared as a trusted ally, sympathizing with her cause and vowing to support her in her quest for freedom. He whispered words of encouragement, exploiting her trust in his seemingly genuine intentions. To Damien, Felix portrayed himself as a loyal servant, manipulating the tyrant's insecurities and offering information on Aurora's activities. He sowed seeds of doubt, fueling Damien's paranoia and ensuring the conflict would escalate. As the tension between Aurora and Damien intensified, Felix skillfully manipulated the situation to his advantage. He spread false information, deepening the divide between the two factions and causing chaos within the swamp. Meanwhile, Felix capitalized on the unrest, seizing opportunities to amass power and influence over the swamp's inhabitants. He amassed a following of creatures drawn to his cunning ways, using their loyalty to further his own agenda. However, as Felix reveled in his newfound influence, he failed to realize that his actions were not going unnoticed. Observant creatures in the swamp began to see through his deceitful facade, recognizing the harm he was causing to both Aurora's cause and the chances of peaceful resolution. A group of creatures, disillusioned by Felix's manipulations, banded together in secret. They devised a plan to expose Felix's true nature and bring an end to his manipulative ways. Through careful coordination and the strength of their shared purpose, the creatures revealed Felix's treachery to both Aurora and Damien. They exposed his double-dealing and unveiled his true intentions, to exploit their conflict for personal gain. Aurora and Damien, initially caught in the web of Felix's manipulations, were taken aback by the revelation. They realized that their conflict had allowed a cunning opportunist to thrive in their midst. United by a common enemy, Aurora and Damien set aside their differences and joined forces against Felix. With renewed determination, they confronted him, exposing his deceit and rallying the creatures of the swamp to reject his influence. The swamp creatures, now awakened to Felix's manipulations, turned their backs on him. Together with Aurora and Damien, they worked to rebuild trust and foster a sense of unity in the swamp. They vowed to learn from the mistakes of the past, forging a future where unity and compassion prevailed over manipulation and self-interest. Felix, stripped of his ill-gotten power, faded into the shadows, a cautionary tale for all who would seek to exploit the conflicts of others for personal gain. His legacy served as a reminder of the importance of discernment, unity, and staying true to the principles of justice and compassion. And so, the tale of the cunning frog Felix, who sought to take advantage of the conflict between Aurora and Damien, serves as a reminder to remain vigilant against those who would exploit division for their own benefit. May we draw strength from the unity forged in the face of manipulation, fostering a world where justice and compassion prevail. Clyde, the ordinary crab. Once upon a time, in the murky depths of the haunted swamp, there lived an unassuming crab named Clyde. Clyde, an average-sized crab with a gentle demeanor, spent his days scuttling along the swamp floor, searching for food and shelter. Unlike some of the more extraordinary creatures in the swamp, Clyde didn't possess any remarkable abilities or unique features. He wasn't the fastest, the strongest, or the most colorful. Instead, he embraced his ordinary nature and found contentment in the simple joys of his swamp dwelling. Clyde was known for his easygoing nature and willingness to lend a claw to his fellow swamp inhabitants. Whether it was helping a lost turtle find its way or sharing a morsel of food with a hungry fish, Clyde radiated kindness and compassion in everything he did. The other creatures of the swamp admired Clyde for his down-to-earth demeanor. They sought his advice, knowing that his perspective often provided a sense of clarity in the midst of chaos. Clyde became a trusted confidant and a source of comfort for many in the swamp. One day, an unexpected event shook the tranquil existence of the swamp. A violent storm rolled in, causing the water levels to rise and unsettling the swamp's delicate balance. Panic spread among the inhabitants as they struggled to find safety and stability. Amidst the chaos, Clyde's true strength emerged. He remained level-headed and sprang into action, assisting creatures of all shapes and sizes to find refuge. His small stature allowed him to navigate through tight spaces and reach those in need. Clyde helped stranded frogs climb to higher ground, offered shelter to displaced snails, and even provided a steady platform for birds seeking respite. With each act of kindness, Clyde reminded the swamp community of the power of unity and support, even in the face of adversity. As the storm subsided and the swamp returned to its tranquil state, a newfound sense of gratitude and respect enveloped the creatures. They realized that Clyde, the average crab, had been their guiding light during the darkest of times. From that day forward, Clyde's influence extended beyond his ordinary existence. He became a symbol of resilience and compassion, reminding everyone that heroism could be found in the simplest acts of kindness. The swamp creatures, inspired by Clyde's unwavering spirit, began to embrace their own unique qualities and appreciate the contributions they could make, no matter how small or ordinary they seemed. Together, they forged a stronger and more harmonious community where each creature's presence was valued and celebrated. Clyde's impact continued to ripple through the swamp, leaving an enduring legacy of unity and compassion. And so, the tale of Clyde, the average crab with an extraordinary heart, serves as a reminder that heroism can be found in the simplest acts of kindness. May we draw inspiration from Clyde's story, embracing our own ordinary qualities and recognizing the power we hold to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Pearl, the solitary clam. Once upon a time, in the depths of the murky swamp, there resided a humble clam named Pearl. Pearl was a quiet and unassuming creature, spending her days nestled in the soft, silty bottom of the swamp. Unlike the more adventurous inhabitants of the swamp, Pearl rarely ventured beyond her cozy spot. She found solace in the stillness of her surroundings, observing the ebb and flow of life from her tranquil vantage point. With each passing day, Pearl witnessed the comings and goings of the swamp's diverse inhabitants. Ducks splashed in the nearby water, dragonflies skimmed the surface, and turtles sunned themselves on the logs. Pearl marveled at the vibrant tapestry of life that surrounded her. Content with her secluded existence, Pearl devoted her time to filtering nutrients from the water and creating intricate patterns in the sand. She derived satisfaction from the simple pleasures of her day-to-day existence, finding joy in the beauty of her surroundings. One day, a particularly curious frog named Felix, known for his mischievous nature, stumbled upon Pearl's abode. Intrigued by the unassuming clam, Felix couldn't resist the urge to investigate further. Felix hopped over to Pearl's spot and engaged her in conversation. He asked her about her life in the depths of the swamp and why she chose to remain hidden away. Pearl, with her gentle voice, explained her appreciation for the peace and harmony she found in her secluded existence. Intrigued by Pearl's contentment, Felix began to question his own constant quest for excitement and adventure. He realized that there was a certain beauty in embracing stillness and finding joy in the simplicity of life. Inspired by Pearl's perspective, Felix became a regular visitor to her spot at the bottom of the swamp. He would sit beside her, sharing stories of his adventures and marveling at the tranquility of their surroundings. As time went on, word of Pearl's wisdom and peaceful existence spread throughout the swamp. Creatures sought her out, seeking guidance and solace in her presence. They found comfort in her serene demeanor and her ability to find contentment in the most unassuming of places. Pearl, once a solitary clam hidden in the depths, became a revered figure in the swamp. She shared her insights and taught others the importance of finding inner peace and appreciating the beauty of the present moment. Together with her newfound friends, Pearl fostered a sense of harmony in the swamp, reminding all who visited her of the importance of balance and tranquility. The creatures began to appreciate the stillness that existed alongside their more active pursuits, finding a deeper connection with their surroundings. The unassuming clam who found solace in the bottom of the swamp serves as a gentle reminder that peace and contentment can be found in the most unexpected of places. May we draw inspiration from Pearl's story, embracing the beauty of simplicity and finding joy in the stillness that surrounds us. Coral, one of many. Once upon a time, in the depths of the murky swamp, there lived a small shrimp named Coral. Coral was one of the many inhabitants of the swamp, and he resided at the bottom of the food chain. Being tiny and inconspicuous, Coral often went unnoticed by the larger and more prominent creatures of the swamp. He would scuttle along the swamp floor, his vibrant orange and white stripes blending in with the surrounding algae. Coral carried out his humble tasks, diligently consuming decaying matter and contributing to the ecosystem's delicate balance. Despite his small size, he approached his duties with determination and a sense of purpose. As Coral moved through the swamp, he occasionally caught glimpses of the grander creatures. He observed the graceful movements of the fish, the elegant flight of the dragonflies, and the commanding presence of the turtles. Among them, he noticed two distinctive figures, Damien, the malevolent leech, and Aurora, the compassionate leader. Damien's ominous presence cast a shadow over the swamp, spreading fear and exerting control. His actions disrupted the natural balance and oppressed the weaker inhabitants, like Coral. On the other hand, Aurora's gentle spirit and unwavering dedication to justice brought a glimmer of hope and inspired unity. One day, while Coral was tending to his duties, he witnessed a confrontation between Damien and Aurora. Damien, fueled by his thirst for power, sought to intimidate Aurora and assert his dominance over the swamp. Moved by Aurora's unwavering resilience, Coral summoned his courage and scurried closer to the scene. He knew that even as a small shrimp, he could contribute to the greater cause of justice. Using his agility, Coral darted around Damien, creating a distraction that allowed Aurora to escape his clutches. The unexpected intervention of the tiny shrimp caught Damien off guard, giving Aurora a crucial advantage. Word of Coral's brave act quickly spread through the swamp, reaching the ears of both Aurora and Damien. Aurora recognized Coral's courage and saw the potential for change, even in the smallest of creatures. Damien, on the other hand, seethed with anger and vowed to crush any defiance. Inspired by Coral's selflessness, Aurora sought him out and enlisted his help in rallying the other swamp inhabitants against Damien's oppression. Coral became an invaluable ally, using his small size and swift movements to gather information and facilitate secret communications among the creatures. Together, Coral, Aurora, and the other creatures of the swamp organized a resistance against Damien's tyrannical rule. Coral's bravery and resourcefulness earned him the nickname Flicker for his ability to appear and disappear in the blink of an eye. Flicker's contributions proved instrumental in gathering support from the diverse inhabitants of the swamp. His actions sparked a sense of unity and resilience among them, as they realized that even the smallest of creatures could make a difference. With Flicker's help, the resistance grew stronger, and Damien's grip on the swamp began to loosen. The combined efforts of Aurora, Flicker, and the swamp community led to Damien's ultimate downfall, bringing an end to his oppressive rule. The swamp was transformed as harmony and compassion replaced fear and oppression. Flicker's role in the victory became legendary, his bravery and resourcefulness forever etched in the collective memory of the swamp's inhabitants. And so, the tale of Flicker, the small shrimp who played a pivotal role in the struggle against Damien's tyranny, serves as a reminder that even the tiniest creatures can have a profound impact on the world. May we draw inspiration from Flicker's story, embracing our own unique strengths and finding the courage to stand up against injustice, no matter our size.